You ready for this? Welcome to JBSports. I'm here with my guest,
John.
and my other guest,
Ethan.
We're back for part 2 since we couldn't finish the draft because we ran out of time. But today we will finish the draft, and if we have any other room, we'll find something to talk about, probably NFL related, like people have been doing in practice so far, like if you heard anything.
Yeah.
So last time, I believe we left off on the Mims pick.
Yep.
So what's the next pick?
Jared versus the Rams.
Rams.
Yeah, obviously Aaron Donald retires. Need to replace somebody on the pass rush. I kind of like what they're doing there. I liked the pick. I thought it was a good pick. I don't think Jared Verse is some guy that's ever going to be like a first team All Pro, but I could see him consistently being like a 10 sack a year player. Somebody that's going to play the run well. He's just going to be a solid pass rusher. I liked the pick. You can't just count on the young guys you have there with Kobe Turner and Byron Young. With Donald leaving, you needed a pass rush. I liked the pick. I didn't think it was anything insane, but it was a good pick.
Yeah, I agree. I think I don't like the word bust proof, but you're talking about a dude that was rumored to be top 15 last year if he had declared, and a guy who went top 20 in one of the best draft classes of all time this year. So it just shows like you're gonna get out of him.
Yeah, I think he's just going to be like instantly a good
Edge
pass
two.
rusher, and then
Perfect edge two, could be an edge one day.
At his ceiling, maybe he's like the 15th best pass rusher, but he's got a really
And a great
high,
run defense.
Yeah, and he's got a really high floor for a team that's kind of like, yeah, we're good.
I like his versatility too, because Young and Kobe Turner first off, they're not underexperienced. Verse obviously is a rookie and they're already in the league, but Verse, I like how you can move him around the line where Kobe Turner is a big boy, and I want to be as more comfortable doing that with him. Maybe not as much Byron Young. You can kind of move him around, but yeah, I just like him.
It's also out of that duo of Young and Turner, they got great production from them last year, but that's with Aaron Donald.
Yeah, so.
That's going to be the big thing. I think they were very smart about it, knowing we can't go into this year hoping to get that same production. Dude, you're not looking at that D line last year and being like, oh, we got to worry about Kobe Turner. No, we got to worry about Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
So
Complete difference.
yes, I like the pick.
20 Fatanu.
I always feel like the Steelers try to make a really good offensive lineman. I know they had, the steel wall was their nickname or something like that.
Yeah.
Picket fence, something like that. So they always try to get good O linemen, which I really wanted Washington to go to this spot or try to get near it to pick an offensive lineman, but we didn't.
Yeah, I liked Fatanu. I thought it was a good pick. He's going to work well with Arthur Smith, I think. And I think last year you get Paris Johnson. This year you get Fatanu.
Well, they got Darnell, right? Or no.
No, they traded for Paris Johnson.
No, the Chargers have, or not the Cardinals have Paris Johnson.
Wait, I'm triggered. Oh, Broderick Jones. Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
yes, that's who it
Sorry.
is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever, but he did start the first 8 weeks and then looked better.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a good pick. They needed O-line. They took probably the best one available.
Yeah.
Just off the top of my head,
the next O-line pick was Jordan Morgan, and they needed a tackle. They didn't need to go interior. Graham Barton went next.
Yeah.
So you're chilling, unless you thought Tyler Guyton was better. I don't think anyone in the world did. I think they actually kind of got the of that crop of these guys are going to be week 1 starters and probably pretty solid at it, like Fatanu, Mims, those guys. I think they got the last guy in that crop of players. So
yeah,
that's
and
good for them.
It was a need. I think it could have went maybe corner, maybe.
Yeah,
but
I do want to note I don't like their second round pick and Zach Frazier. They go, which is crazy. Fatanu, Frazier, and then McCormick in the 3rd round. I do want to say one thing. Frazier, 4-year wrestling stud, center, West Virginia big boy. Of course he's going to be a solid NFL center, but I don't think the dude can't move for crap. He's huge, and I don't think that's going to work well with Arthur Smith's blocking scheme. I like the McCormick pick, but I would have gone corner in the 2nd round too.
Yeah,
especially since there's a run on corners. I don't know. I just didn't like the Frazier pick.
No, Frazier's a great player, I think. It's a questionable scheme fit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's not like they're taking him in the first round.
Yeah, no. It's not.
You're getting a good player.
You know you're going to
It'll-
get a starting caliber center.
It'll
so
be
you
interesting
can't-
to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I'd like to see how he fits.
Leave with that.
Next pick, Chop Robinson to the Dolphins.
I didn't like this pick. I don't know. You might disagree, but he's a high upside guy. He has been. So I think as a pass rusher, third down, like he's someone who will get home a couple of times a year. But I just don't see him at his size and weight playing first or second down football and stopping the run in the NFL. I don't see him winning in the A or B gap, and I don't see him, if he puts on weight, I don't see him keeping that bend, and I think he needs to put on at least like 20 pounds for you to be comfortable with him, like being a 5'eye run defender on the defensive line.
I saw the Chop Robinson pick. My first reaction, nothing about the player. Bad sign for Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb.
Yeah.
They both got hurt last year. Both had great years. The fact that they took an edge rusher in the first round, that is not
It's
good in my
sketchy.
opinion. That screams they might not be very healthy. And Chop, here's the thing: they're going into the AFC, or they're in the AFC.
Yeah.
Very tough, competitive. They've got, what is it, one more year on Tua's rookie contract?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what they do with that. But
Yeah,
It's
same.
gonna be a,
So my thought process is this is really, they need to win this year.
yeah.
And they took a player that I think obviously could be very good in a couple years.
Uh-huh.
Though. So it's like you take this player where it instantly shows, okay, your other two really good players at that same position might not be very healthy.
Yeah.
And you kind of need to win right now, and you took a guy that could be really good in like
2 years. Yeah, he's not a win now guy. Like, he's just not that size. Like, I think you can throw him in on third down
Yeah.
and have him stand up, like, be an outside
He can
linebacker type
run
edge.
stunts and
Yeah, like, I'd love that for him. But besides that, I don't, like, dude, who's in the AFC East? I mean, like, is he really getting past the Jetsville line on first and second down? Like, Tyron Smith's mauling him. Like,
or
if he's
higher
on-
ceiling.
yeah, I was going to say if he's on.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, I don't know. 21 isn't, like, the worst. If it was, like, 15 and those Latu and Murphy was on the board, it'd be bad. But
it was, yeah, it was okay.
especially, if we don't know the injury situation. It seems, which is a red flag. And, yeah.
So
And there's never been a, recently, Penn State edge rusher, it has worked out.
Yeah, it definitely has.
Super athletic.
It definitely
but,
has.
I mean, Parsons was a much better prospect.
Yeah,
than
for sure.
Chop.
Ethan's probably favorite pick of the draft.
I mean, by far, I think one of the biggest steals of the draft, the Eagles, I mean, all week. We already talked about the Eagles pick and Colts picks on episode 1.
Yeah.
So I'll just go over it once again real quick. Quinyon Mitchell, love the process for the Eagles. I mean, I thought we'd have to trade up for, like, Terrion Arnold or Kool-Aid McKinstry because I thought Mitchell would be off the board at, like, 14. Like, right after Nix and Penix went, I thought Mitchell would be off the board. For him to be there at 22 is amazing. The best pure outside corner in the draft. Didn't have to trade up for him. Get DeJean too, the most versatile DB in the draft. Fix all the secondary glaring needs. Yeah. I don't know. That's all it was.
Next pick, Brian Thomas Jr. to the Jags. I feel like they've always just been missing that like number one receiver for Trevor Lawrence to throw to.
100%.
Last year they had what's the name?
Calvin Ridley.
Ridley. He can be good, but a lot of times he just does.
Yeah,
not
he
get
was
where
just
needs to
like
be.
he was just like okay last year.
Yeah.
Really good
I
games.
100% agree. Like
I'm
exactly.
excited to see him on the Titans a little bit, but I don't think he's going to be a wide receiver one.
Yeah,
I just feel like he has some really good games that like get you excited. It's like, oh, he can be
Oh,
this,
dude.
and then it's just average.
That's
the rest
like
of the time.
exactly. I couldn't agree more. And I think they were smart to let him go and smart to take Brian Thomas. I think it was a really, really good pick. I would have been happy if the Colts took him at 15.
Yeah.
Like I liked the pick. I don't really think I would have done anything else differently.
Yeah, I really like the pick, and I think he fits well in that offense with Kirk. I don't know how Gabe Davis fits in there a little bit with him, but we'll see. I like the pick.
It was,
Uh-huh.
and it's nice
He was
that
the fourth best wide receiver at 24 or 23 in the draft.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. Terrion Arnold to the Lions. Yeah, sorry. I don't know. Terrion Arnold went to the Lions at pick 24. Thoughts?
okay. My initial thought. Okay, that draft in Detroit, he had the perfect like entrance. Like he was all fired up. I'm like, just watching him walk out. I'm like, dude, he's gonna be good. Like he just has that like swagger about him that you want from the corner, where he's like, obviously on the football field, he's very good. But he's one of those guys I have a good feeling about. Like, I just. You saw that. You see what he said about how he's gonna like jam his mom.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, he said something the other day that was
Yeah.
totally out of pocket. He said if it was his mom on the lining up against him, he'd jam him into the dirt just like anyone else.
Yeah, all right, but that's
on Mother's Day. On Mother's
that's
Day.
the type of energy.
That's what you need from a corner. I like this pick. It's very Lionsy pick. Very I wonder, like, speed-wise, how that's going to play out. He's slow.
Yeah.
Ennis Rakestraw, who they took in the second round, is slow. Reminds me of... Who am I blanking on?
Okuda.
Yeah. But I think, like, it's one of those things where, like, dude, and the problem with the Lions, too, last year was their run defense was bad, and it wasn't because of the D-line. It was because of the linebackers in secondary, and you get two good run-defending corners. Like,
And yes, Arnold is slow, but he's not that slow.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was what, like a 4.5?
Yeah.
Oh,
and his technique was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
like,
an out.
if he ran in the 4.4s, he'd be the top. I was gonna say top 10 pick, but we saw nothing.
Mitchell fall. Yeah.
He would probably be the first corner taken if he ran in the 4.4s.
Probably, yeah. Jordan Morgan, Packers.
It was a good pick.
Yeah, was it Packers type pick?
Yeah, I mean, I think Packers fans were upset that it's not DeJean, and I think that's something that's going to be
that's gonna bite them in the butt.
Okay, I think people are going to be a little over dramatic about it. I think Jordan Morgan will be a good player, but I think people are just going to compare like his career to Cooper DeJean, and if DeJean is even like a Pro Bowler, like they're going to like freak out. But I do think, Bakhtiari's out. They've got two guys there, Zach Tom and Rasheed Walker, Rasheed Walker's like a 6th round pick that had a really good year last year. But I think getting in Jordan Morgan gets insurance that okay, he was a 6th round pick. Will he actually be that good? I think Jordan Morgan gets insurance that between one of those two guys, you're gonna get a good tackle.
And I think one of those two guys you can move into guard too. I didn't see like it's not like any of them are like undersized or anything. You can move one of those guys to guard.
I think it was a good pick.
Mm-hmm. It's what the O-line room needed.
Yeah, it's just DeJean was on the board.
And the problem with the Packers then is that they didn't really like
they didn't
address
the secondary.
Yeah, really. They took Bullard in the second, safety from Georgia. He's all right, but like this safety class was terrible. Like that's where you can't and it's like why not trade up where that second round corner run went, or why not address it a little harder in free agency. I mean, you saw the
sitting there. He's like, okay,
exactly.
He could start at safety for you or provide flexibility. Like Eric Stokes is always hurt. Right. Alexander's always hurt. Okay, start him at safety. Somebody gets hurt. Boom, slot corner. Boom, outside corner. Like it's just. If Cooper DeJean wasn't on the board, I'd say, okay, Jordan Morgan, great pick. Because he was on the board, I'm going to say it was a good.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Green Bay's new defensive coordinator. Yeah, I would have liked to see them address corner because I mean, like you saw the Lions, they picked up oh my gosh, I'm blanking on names today. They picked up who from Tampa Bay, and then
Carlton Davis.
Yeah, Carlton Davis, and then they drafted 2 corners in the first round and second round. Like that was their hole, and they got 3 guys who could probably fill it. Like
and Emmanuel Mosley's coming back off the IR.
Yeah,
so they really have 4 new corners coming in this year.
Exactly. Like that was their hole, and they addressed it.
OD, but
yeah.
You like to hope between 4 of them, you maybe get 1 or 2 good ones.
Next pick, Graham Barton, Duke center for the Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I thought it was those faces coming over.
I know. I really like this pick. I like Graham Barton. I thought he could have gone higher too. Honestly, like. I really think some teams passed on them, like the Dolphins. Which again shows how big of a.
Dude, I think I could start at center right now.
Yeah, I know. That's. I
don't even know. Do they have like a center on the roster that's like played in an NFL game?
I don't know. It's literally an XFL type made up roster right now on that interior. It's scary. I mean, really the whole line, but like that interior is sketch, dude. And so shows you how big of a red flag it is. Like Jalen Phillips and Von Miller, but I think like Barton for Tampa Bay is amazing. I think, dude, like he's one of those guys. I just think Zion Johnson coming out, although he hasn't panned out as well in the NFL, but like. I think he's just one of those guys who'll be a really good guard.
And he's versatile too.
Yeah.
He can he's one of few people in the league, well, that's what we think, coming into the league, that can genuinely play 5 spots on the offensive line.
Like play tackle. So
that is like irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Like if you can get, even if he's like,
they announced him as guard/center,
Yeah.
and he played tackle in college.
Yeah.
Like think about that. Like that's awesome.
even if you get like a good offense, like let's just say he's just like good. He's instantly going to be so much more valuable than anyone else because you can just slide him around anywhere. And I love that because they've had injuries along that offensive line in multiple different spots. So he's going to be able to plug in wherever they need him.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, yeah.
What's next pick? Darius Robinson to the Cardinals. It's a good pick for them. They have a lot of spots that need it. Like
On the defense, yeah. I like the pick, and I like Gannon. I mean, I think he'll work well with Gannon. It was a bit of a reach.
I think it was the right idea. Like, I think they needed to address the defense. I like going on the D-line.
A wrong player.
I think he'll be a good player.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Darius Robinson guy.
It's more of a project pick.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. He didn't have a ton of production. He's kind of got this weird build. It was a need. It was definitely a need, so I can't trash the pick.
For me, it's just watching all these dudes go, especially the Robinson pick too. It's like you have Jazier Newton.
That's what I was going to say.
And you're taking Darius Robinson. Like I know it's not like Jazier Newton's obviously a DT and Robinson's an edge, but it's like in the NFL
they need
these
all
days
of it. They have nobody there.
Yeah, and
we might see JB for the Cardinals lined up against Ethan at center for the Dolphins this week. Like
that,
I'm winning.
Yeah, you probably would, to be honest. But we definitely like the Cardinals take Johnny Newton, but like at the same time, it's like this is Robinson 25, lower than 25, 25 to 50 was his range, and if Gannon liked what he saw and said I can use him next year with how good he was last year coming in, I think you can't make this worse than
it was good process.
Yeah,
and I think it could be better, but
solid
it
C plus.
C plus.
Next pick, fastest man in NFL history, in the 4.
In the 40.
Xavier Worthy to the Chiefs. They need a wide receiver. What is it? They released. I'm blanking on his name.
MVS just signed with the Bills.
Who just won them 2 Super Bowls with their last play.
Yep.
They let him go, and then the other one, we know what is happening with him right now.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, so they need it. They need to address wide receiver any way they can.
Yeah, hopefully he actually pans out. Obviously Rice looked great last year, but missed on Sky Moore. They traded a 3rd-round pick for Kadarius Toney.
We know what Kadarius Toney is doing right now.
I think Xavier Worthy was a good pick. I think I'm scared as a Colts fan in the AFC. I'm scared.
Marquise Brown.
Yeah, I honestly I don't know how much production Xavier Worthy's going to get this year, just because Marquise Brown is there, and I think they're honestly very similar players. But for next year, I'm a big dynasty fantasy football player. Took Xavier Worthy in a lot of drafts, knowing I probably won't get anything this year. But his second year, I'm calling my shot right now. 1,300 yards plus, Xavier Worthy, second year in the league.
It's getting clipped.
Clip it.
I have the same excitement for him.
I'm not even a huge Xavier Worthy guy, but my thinking is, okay, best quarterback, I'm going to say it, of all time.
Yeah.
Throwing him the ball. Don't give me that face. Do not give me that face.
Just wait for Mahomes to 3-peat next year. It's gonna happen, guys.
Yeah.
And then everyone gets their
here's the other thing. Yes, they need him right now, but I honestly don't know if he's gonna play that much. He's gonna sit this year behind Hollywood Brown.
Yeah. And learn his
learn everything, and he's just going to slide in perfectly.
Yeah.
1,300 yards. Heard it here first.
John said he's not a big Xavier Worthy guy. I am a big Xavier Worthy guy. This dude was committed to Michigan, flipped to Texas, was a freaking beast, played all over the field for Texas. Super jealous watching him cook in college year round. I also like how the Chiefs, like, for the last 3 years, they keep on trying to get these, like, gadgety guys, like Kadarius Toney, Rashee Rice a little bit. Like, they finally just said, you know what? We're taking a deep threat because we have Rashee Rice and we have Travis Kelce, and one of him or Marquise Brown is going to score some touchdowns, 20-plus yards down the field for us. So I like that for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Next pick, Dallas, Tyler Guyton. I've heard a lot about him just being a straight project pick. Like, he's not a really low floor, but could be a very high ceiling.
Yeah, that's exactly what that's the
same thing.
Agree.
I've picked up. I will say this is a very Dallas-y pick,
Yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, I think Goyen, like, scarily, like, people are hating on this pick. But the dude, like, 1 out of every 5 snaps at Oklahoma looked like the best tackle in college football. So I don't know what the reason for the inconsistency is. If it's mental, then you're like, dude, does this guy have the right attitude?
Mm-hmm.
But if it's, like, he's just, like, kind of a deer in headlights sometimes, then you see.
Yeah. I don't want to see him year 1 on the field, but
They might see him, though.
you might have
If
to.
they find that puzzle piece, he's going to be really good.
Ravens Wiggins, great pick for the Ravens with the.
It's like they have somebody hurt in the secondary every year that I think I've been alive. Like, they genuinely need to start rostering like 6 startable corners. Like, it's actually like insane to me.
Every
But I like the Wiggins pick.
Yeah.
He's a great player.
His durability is scary in the AFC North, like way more scary than Latu in my opinion.
Yeah.
But the fastest corner in the draft and one of the most technically sound.
Yeah.
So,
If he can put on some weight, he'll be great.
Yeah.
49ers, Ricky Pearsall. From Florida. What I saw from this is they're trying to get a really good wide receiver. That means that Brandon Ayuk is probably going to be out soon or by next year.
Yeah. 100%. I like Pearsall a lot. I think he can work really well in the slot. He's probably not going to play much this year. They've got Debo, Ayuk, Juwan Jennings. I don't think he's going to get on the field too much, but I do like the player. Mm-hmm. And I agree. They're going to trade probably Ayuk.
Hopefully to Washington.
Yeah.
I would trade Debo. I know you're probably not going to get much for him. I love Brandon Ayuk. I think he's a very good.
Pearsall gives me Jennings vibes if we're talking just about Pearsall.
Yeah.
But I think like he could be better than Jennings.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with his catch radius too. Like
he will be. I don't think he'll ever make an All-Pro team, but I could see him going over 1,000 yards 2 or 3 times in his career and just being a solid, reliable player for a long time in the league.
Mm-hmm. And if it's someone Shanahan trusts in his system after interviews and stuff, then you can feel a lot more confident about it too. Leggett.
Last pick, first round, Leggett. I guess good pick, but they literally need something at almost every position.
Yeah.
So it's.
But I honestly, I loved the pick. I loved Leggett. Thought it was a great pick. Obviously, we saw how bad it was with Bryce Young last year. Go out, get Deontay Johnson, incredible trade. Mm-hmm. Get Leggett, his kind of complementary skill set, a bigger bodied guy, can get some contested catches. And underrated aspect of this, traded into the first round, which means they get the 5th-year option, which is an extra year on the rookie contract.
Quickly, I'll just say I like the Panthers. Their whole offseason has been great. They kind of went from, we're not going to give Bryce Young anything. He's the first overall pick. He'll figure it out to, wait, no, like, it's still the NFL. We need to give him something. I love Canales. I love Leggett. I love how Leggett and Deontay Johnson work together. And O-line-wise, they invested a lot. They signed Hunt and Damian Lewis a lot of money. So I'm excited to see that Panthers offense next year. And I think Leggett's like the top of the cherry on top of the cake for that.
And Jonathan Brooks was a good pick too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him too. Yeah. All right.
So that's part 2 of the first round draft with my draft special analysts, John and Ethan. Mm-hmm. You will see them again eventually, which could be football.
Hopefully this summer we'll get together.
Maybe WWE with John because we know we've been itching to talk about that.
WWE guy.
Yeah, both of us.
Well, you
can make fun of us. We don't care.
We need to do some predictions this summer for this season once the summer gets going. Yeah.
But this has been JB Sports with me, Jonathan Burton.
John Closter.
Ethan Harnish.
And thanks for watching. Have a great day and see you next time.